Hello, welcome to Poetry Changes Lives on this cold January day in London. Here it's -4 degrees Celsius at the moment. I'm enjoying my garden. It's a nice sunny morning. Poetry Changes Lives is my book. Here it is. Poetry, history and a thought for the day, every day of the year. The website is poetrychangeslives.com. On this day in 1326, that's exactly 700 years ago, King Edward II of England was deposed by an army led by his wife, or his ex-wife, Isabella, and her favourite, the exiled Roger Mortimer. Well, Edward II was the son of a fearsome King Edward I, known as the Hammer of the Scots. He was also Edward Longshanks, a big tall man, habitually liked to wear chain mail and very, very stern and firm in his ruling. His son Edward II, had ruled for 20 years, but he was perceived as weak and indecisive. He tended to have favourites at court. He was homosexual, and he gave power to people who were quite unsuitable. His wife Isabella got fed up with it all, and she was a very tough lady herself, known as the She-Wolf of France, a French lady. She had had enough of Edward, her husband, and joined up with Roger Mortimer, plotting to overthrow him. Edward was deposed and imprisoned at Berkeley Castle, where he was later gruesomely murdered. I won't go into the details. Weirdly, Roger Mortimer was later executed for treason as well. But Queen Isabella lived to a ripe old age and died peacefully about 20 years later. Well, history is every century, really. There's always some really strong female who figures among a whole lot of rather nasty males. But Isabella, the She-Wolf of France, was definitely one of those. I'm going to read a poem today by Rudyard Kipling called The Female of the Species. It's very good in its way. When the Himalayan peasant meets the he-bear in his pride, he shouts to scare the monster, who will often turn aside. But the she-bear, thus accosted, rends the peasant tooth and nail, for the female of the species is more deadly than the male. When the nag, the basking cobra, hears the careless foot of man, he will sometimes wriggle sideways and avoid it if he can. But his mate makes no such motion when she camps beside the trail, for the female of the species is more deadly than the male. When the early Jesuit fathers preached to Hurons and Choctaws, they prayed to be delivered from the vengeance of the squaws. 'Twas the woman, not the warrior, turned those stark enthusiasts pale, for the female of the species is more deadly than the male. Man's timid heart is bursting with the things he must not say, for the woman that God gave him isn't his to give away. But when hunter meets with husbands, each confirms the other's tale. The female of the species is more deadly than the male. Today I will try no longer to be a people pleaser and approval seeker, but to have the strength and courage just to be myself. Thank you for listening.